There's a moment in life you don't forget, a moment so violent, so unexpected, so soul-shaking that it burns itself into your memory like a brand pulled straight out of hell. You know the moment I'm talking about. It's that day life didn't just knock politely on your door. It kicked that shit open, dragged you out by your collar, and slammed you flat on the floor of your own existence. And the crazy part, people around you didn't even notice, because the world doesn't pause when your life shatters. The world doesn't send you a warning. It doesn't whisper, hey, brace yourself. It just hits, hard, fast, unfairly, brutally, without apology. You remember where you were standing. You remember the silence that followed. You remember the way your chest tightened like someone reached inside and squeezed your heart. You remember the way your breath felt cold, like the air itself betrayed you. And right there, in that moment, you broke. Not in a poetic way, not in a movie scene way, not in a neat, inspirational quote way. You broke in the real way, the way that leaves you staring at the wall, unable to process what just happened, unable to speak, unable to cry, unable to move. The kind of break where part of you dies. Maybe it was betrayal, maybe it was failure, maybe it was losing someone you loved, maybe it was losing yourself. Maybe it was the moment you realized everything you were building was built on shaky ground. Whatever it was, life dropped your ass on the floor and you stayed there. People don't talk about the staying. They talk about the bounce back, the comeback, the triumph. But nobody talks about the hours, the days, the weeks you spent on the floor, surrounded by your own thoughts, trying to figure out if you were ever going to stand again.
Nobody talks about the dark hours when you lost faith in yourself, when you questioned whether you were actually strong enough, when your mind turned into a battlefield and you started losing to your own thoughts. That's the part I want to talk about, because that's where your real story begins. Not when you succeed, not when you win, not when you're praised, not when you're strong. Your story begins when you're fucking broken, when you're empty, when you're tired, when you're standing in front of the version of yourself you've been running from for years. And let's be honest, you weren't ready for that confrontation. You weren't ready to face the truth that your life wasn't what you pretended it was. You weren't ready to admit you were hurting. You weren't ready to admit you were lost. You weren't ready to admit you didn't know who the hell you were anymore. But pain forces you into the mirror. Pain doesn't ask for permission. Pain says, sit your ass down. We're talking today. And in that moment, life strips you. It tears away the bullshit, the excuses, the lies you told yourself, the masks you wore, the comfort you hid behind. Pain removes who you pretended to be so you can finally meet who you actually are. And that version of you, the raw, unfiltered, unpolished version, is scary as hell because there's no script, no persona, no armor, no audience, just you, naked with your truth. And the truth is this: you weren't as strong as you thought. You weren't as healed as you pretended. You weren't as confident as you acted. And that realization hurts. It hurts in a way motivation videos don't fix. It hurts in a way sleep doesn't cure. It hurts in a way talking doesn't solve. It hurts in your soul. But listen to me, lean in, because this is the part most people never understand. That pain wasn't there to destroy you. It was there to rebuild you. People think life hits them because they're unlucky, or cursed, or weak, or doomed. No, life hits you because there is something inside you you've been ignoring for too damn long. Life hits you when you're drifting, when you're pretending, when you're shrinking, when you're living beneath your potential, when you've stopped challenging yourself, when you've stopped being honest, when you've stopped growing. Life hits you to wake the fuck up. But when you're in the middle of that storm, you don't see that. You don't see lessons, you don't see growth, you don't see strength, you don't see purpose. All you see is darkness. And darkness has a way of making you believe this is where your story ends. But listen, if life wanted to end you, you wouldn't be listening to this right now. If life wanted you gone, you'd be gone. The fact that you're here means the fight in you is not finished. You may be bruised, you may be tired, you may be confused, you may be grieving, you may be angry, you may be numb, but you're here, and that's everything. Because the moment life knocked you down, it didn't realize who the fuck it was messing with. It didn't realize you were built for storms. It didn't realize your heart doesn't quit. It didn't realize breaking you was the worst way to destroy you, because you don't crumble, you transform.
And that transformation begins right now, not tomorrow, not next month, not when you feel ready, now, while you're still broken, while you're still hurting, while you're still unsure, while you're still doubting, while you're still figuring it out. Because strength isn't built in victory. Strength is built in the ruins.
You rise from the floor, not by skipping the pain, but by walking through it, one brutal step at a time. This chapter, this painful, messy, dark chapter, is not your downfall. It's your awakening. And when you finally stand, when you finally rise from the floor life threw you on, you don't rise as the same person. You rise as someone life will never knock down the same way again.